The Sinking City is one of the most solid books I've read. Like, the world between the covers could actually be an alternate reality. Hey guys, welcome back to Good Clean Reads. I'm Kenna Rose. Thank you for joining me for today's review of The Sinking City, written by Christine Cohen. The Sinking City is the second book she has written. Her first one is The Winter King, and The Sinking City is set in a reimagined version of Venice, Italy. So, kind of like the way Nadine Brandis reimagined London in Fox, or Russia in Romanov, where there's magic woven into a historical setting. The back cover, or I guess the inside flap, reads, "Venice is a carnival of opposites, and Leona Caravati thinks she understands it all. Canal and palace, magician and merchant, plague and pantomime. As a patrician's daughter, Leona enjoys the sparkling life of a noble family, although she would prefer to be tending to her flowers than practicing violin or standing around in a ball gown. But what Leona fails to realize is that Venice is a city of stone in a world of water. And ruling the dark waters are the Cellini, ageless, cold, and calculating. When she loses everything she relies on, Leona must set a new course that will shake the foundations of Venice itself." So, one of the most notable aspects of the book to me was how real the world felt. Like, if you could slip into it, there wouldn't be any gaping holes in the infrastructure. You'd be able to look and see the houses and just every detail that made the world real. She did a great job making the setting come alive and the characters seem human. The moral background of the story seemed to be pretty in line with scripture as well. Some of the characters, I really liked them. For example, Nico, he's genuinely kind to everybody without sacrificing truth. He's a leader who stands up to bullies, and he's chivalrous. Or, I can't pronounce this, but Aloysius? Yeah, I can't pronounce his name. But he, despite experiencing tragedy, he doesn't wear it like an ill-fitting garment. He is loyal, kind, and forgiving, and eventually sacrifices himself for a character who really didn't deserve it. And just seeing the family dynamic she gave Leona, she didn't have a great relationship with her parents, but with her siblings. Just seeing the way they cared for each other, made sacrifices for each other, fought for each other, I really enjoyed the characters of the story. And another thing is I really enjoyed the way she wrote it, because men are written to be men, and women were written to be women. Leona uses her brain more than brute force to solve her problems, and with the way popular culture likes to blur gender lines, portraying men as weak and whiny or women as superhumanly tough and strong, it's kind of refreshing to read a story with solid male and female characters who have morals. Another cool thing is a large theme in the story is forgiveness. Leona has to learn to forgive everyone who got her into the mess she's in. Aloysius has to forgive who created the terrible tragedy, which I can't say because, that would spoil a lot of the book. But Nico chooses to forgive Leona for lying, etc. And it's done in such a way that it's not done ridiculous. It's well written. For content concerns, as always, I'm not going to go over every single content concern in this review, but you can go to goodcleanreads.com and look for the Sinking City book review to get all of them. But I'm just gonna do kind of a quick summary. For Christian other beliefs, I think the author is a Christian. It's not really, the book isn't explicitly Christian, but I do think the author is a Christian, and it was published through Canon Press. There's not much reference to her faith in the story though. It is a solid book with a biblically moral backdrop, I do believe. The historical backdrop is very Catholic or Orthodox. Magic is definitely a part of the story, because you have the magicians who keep Venus afloat. Split into sections, and each section is managed by a magician and his assistant who make sure that the spells holding Venus up are strong so the city doesn't sink. Magicians also deal with the Cellini, who wield a water magic themselves. They're kind of creepy characters. But the magic does have a very dark side to it, and very clearly in the book it's stated that it's wrong and goes against the created order. But one of the characters does kind of dabble in it, and causes a lot of problems, and part of the book is them having to defeat that character as much as they have to defeat the Selene. And go to goodcleanreads.com for more information because, yeah. Romance, I would say it's probably at the level of a clean young adult book. For violence, there's a fair amount. I don't think it's super graphic. Language, there's not much. The A word is used once, and God's name is taken in vain once, sadly. So I didn't say all the content concerns, but go to goodcleanreads.com to see them. The Sinking City is one of the most solid books I've read. Like, the world between the covers could actually be an alternate reality. Venus, Italy, kept afloat by spells. The quality of the writing is superb, and you end up rooting for and caring for the characters. But it is indeed a fairy tale with teeth, like the author said. And I think that's part of what made it so real. It didn't feel like a fairy tale world. It felt like our world. The story didn't shy away from showing darkness exists, but it never lost the bit of hope that followed the characters through. Bad things happened that were outside their control, but they didn't let that destroy them. They grew through it. People made bad choices and suffered the consequences for their actions. A strong sense of right and wrong prevailed. To quote the Warden and the Wolf King from the Wingfeather Saga, "We need something beautiful hanging in the dark sky to remind us there is such a thing as daylight." And despite the fact that the characters had to make hard choices in situations where things didn't seem like they'd get better, there was a moon. So, I thoroughly enjoyed The Sinking City and recommend it as a book to read. To me, the only thing that was missing was a declaration of where that light came from and where they got their hope. Thank you so much for watching my review of The Sinking City by Christine Cohen. Check out my blog, goodcleanreads.com, for the full review of the book, as well as other book reviews, book box unboxings, short stories, poems, etc. I would really appreciate it if you would like the video, share it with friends, subscribe to my channel, all of that good stuff. Thank you so much for watching, and bye!